What's up, everyone? This is Kyle from Wax Museum coming to you today with the 8th installment of my NBA 75th Anniversary Team Collection. Feels like I'm further in than 8 of these, but here we are, and good to be halfway, and hopefully you've enjoyed it to this point. I appreciate all the feedback that I've received so far. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Now, if I'm going alphabetically, Jordan's the first one on here. You guys know I can't start off with the main feature. So let's go ahead and start off with Jason Kidd instead. So Jason Kidd, as you guys know, is the current coach of the Mavericks. He's one of the most skilled guards in the history of the league who, interestingly enough, wasn't a great scorer or a great shooter. And those seem to be the two things that we associate with great guards in the league today. But there were some other things that he did well. In fact, he's still second all-time in both assists and steals. He did up his scoring a little bit during his time with the Nets, where he also helped lead them to a pair of finals appearances in the early 2000s, although losing efforts. But, it's kind of ironic that his current Mavs squad has struggled on the offensive end and made up for that some with defense. And I know some people have put that entirely on him. I think his hands have been a little tied too with Luka's usage in their current roster. The jury, I think, is still out on him as a coach. But anyway, that's not what I'm here to discuss. We're talking about Jason Kidd, the player. And now let's talk about Jason Kidd cards. So I don't have a lot of Jason Kidd cards in the collection. I really haven't had a reason to have them, to be honest. This is one, this is iconic to me, this finest rookie. Him and Grant Hill were a big deal that year. This one I've got, it's BGS 9, although he looks like, I don't know, the Phantom of the Opera here. We've got some greening. Or maybe the Batman Beyond villain Blight. If there's all two of you that are watching that might know that reference. But anyway, there's my Jason Kidd finest rookie. Got to have that to the collection. I did not grade that. It came in a lot like that, but I was happy with that anyway. And then this one I need to take out of here to show you, because this is a pretty cool set. This is called Genuine Article. It's from 2003-2004 Fleer Genuine Insider. So what they do is they've got a patch piece here. And then on the inside of the card, they give you a picture of the jersey that they took it from. And then on the back of that, they give you some information. So they tell you that this jersey was worn during the 03-04 season. They tell you what size jersey he wore. Little extra stuff on there that just makes it all the nicer. We don't get that kind of stuff now. I wish it was from this finals jersey, but it's not. And who knows, that could have been, well, no, that's not a finals jersey because of the season it's from, but I would have liked to have seen the front of it as well. But anyway, that's something, like I said, something different that you don't see every day. All right, well, let's talk next about a guy that has also been to the finals multiple times, and that is Kawhi Leonard. And in fact, he's a 2-time finals MVP. And that's with 2 different teams, by the way. So if the Clippers could ever get healthy, maybe he could try for a third. Who knows? My fear is that his leg injury is degenerative, and we might not see the same player again, at least not on a consistent basis. But regardless, we've seen enough by now that we can comfortably put him in the top 75. He's a 2-time champ, a 5-time All-Star, a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, among other things. And what he accomplished in Toronto is probably something we'll never see replicated again, which is why I've got to have a Toronto card in here. I'll show that in just a moment. I don't have any super nice Kawhi rookies. I've got several copies of this one, actually. This is his Hoops rookie. It's only worth like $10 now. It got up to like $60 during the boom, but people kind of calmed down a little bit on that. So one thing I have been picking up, one thing that was cheap for a while, is silvers. So I've got a 2014 Prism Silver. I got this Optic Silver really cheap, and I held it when I actually had several of them. I sold one for like $95. They've also come back down to earth, but I liked it anyway. It's the first year Optic, so I was keeping one regardless. In hindsight, I probably should have sold one when they boomed and then bought it back, but I didn't really want to do a lot of that. So anyway, kept that one. These Crusade Silvers have always been cheap. If you want a cheap silver set to chase, that's one that I would recommend. And then before I get to the relic here, I'll show you this last one. This is another one that's come back down to earth. You can get these on ComC for like $3, but I thought this would be a pretty important card because he only had 1 year with the Raptors. It's a great action shot. Same rookie year as Luka. There was just a lot of things going for this set. It had the quote-unquote LeBron Lakers rookie. So I thought 2018 Optic was a pretty important set. Even though that has come down in value, I'm happy to have this card because I wanted something to commemorate his Raptors run. And then I had to get a nice patch for Kawhi Leonard. And this one, although it is trim, which is not as desirable, it's got several things going for it. I love the older Court King sets. I love the canvas type surface that it's got on it. It's got an action photo. You got LeBron in it, but it's game dated. So this specific patch was worn on March 12th, 2015, and you can see all the details on the back. This one is numbered 6 out of 25, and most of them that I've seen from this print run are not great patches, so I'll take what I can get here, but very cool that that's game dated. Okay, next up is a guy that has not been to the finals. Many people are wondering if he'll ever be there, but that doesn't necessarily discredit what he's done. And he probably just barely made the top 75. But that's not a slight on him, by the way. He's still one of the 70 or 76 greatest players of all time. If you look at Dame Lillard's last 7 seasons or so, he's been on an absolute scoring tear. That includes the logo range three-pointers and then a few clutch shots as well. My favorite, of course, being the series clincher over Paul George. He just lost his running mate not too long ago in C.J. McCollum, who's just killing it with the Pelicans. But I'm curious to see how the Blazers will rebuild and if he's going to be part of it. If he becomes available, there will be plenty of suitors and with good reason. So I've got 3 Lillard cards that I want to show off today. This one is I don't even know what these sell for now. It's a Prism rookie. I got this in a $40 lot with that Harden Topps rookie I showed you earlier. Which, these were going over 100 at one point. I'm sure they've come back down to earth like everything else. So I think even Kawhi's under 100, but that one's definitely staying in the PC because it's an important set and an important player. I got this. I think I got this select rookie for $1 at a show and at Tampa CollectorCon, and I'll show you why. Even though it looks great on the front, if you look at it on the back, there is a giant crease in that. Now, the seller, they told me that. That's why it was so cheap. So there was no trickery there. They ended up giving it to me for half of that, so it was $1. But that's one, this will go in a binder, and you wouldn't even know that that's creased. So that's a great binder card. If it gets bumped around in the binder, not a big deal at all. And then this here, I don't typically pick up a lot of sticker autos, but the price was right on this at a show. I think I got it for $25. The sticker's straight on there. He's got a cool looking autograph. The sticker looks good with that design. So that was a no-brainer for me. Had to get a Lillard auto for my PC. Okay, next up is Jerry Lucas, and for whatever reason, I always associate him with the Knicks, and you'll see a Knicks card here in just a moment. I guess it's because he won a title there in '73, but he was only with them for 3 seasons. He had more productive stints in Cincinnati and San Francisco before that, including a pair of back-to-back 2020 seasons with the Royals. The only other players to notch a 2020 season would be Wilt Chamberlain and Bob Pettit, and that's pretty good company. So when all was said and done, Jerry averaged 17 points and 15.6 rebounds over the course of his career. Since retiring, his career has taken an interesting turn. He's trademarked the nickname Dr. Memory and has written a ton of books about the mind. And I've never had a chance to interact with him, but he seems like an interesting guy. I have, however, had a chance to pick up a few cards that I feel are representative of his career, although I don't have any Cincinnati stuff. I guess the best option for a Cincinnati card, if you're looking for one, would probably be one of his Cons Wieners cards, which I don't think those show up too often. But here I've got his rookie, which is 69 tops. So the Cons stuff would have been before that, but 69 tops, we've got his rookie with San Francisco. Tons of Hall of Famers in this set. That should be no surprise because there wasn't a set, prior to that since 1961. Something else that's representative of his San Francisco Warriors days. I've got this flawless patch numbered 5 out of 5. This was way back in the day. I'm pretty sure I won this for like $11. And those days are long gone, but looks like it's a piece of maybe a warm-up jacket. I'm not sure if this was actually a jersey or not. Either way, that's a pretty cool piece. I wish they had used a color photo of them. There's plenty of them out there, but nonetheless, very happy with that one. I mean, that's 5 out of 5. That's tough to come by. And then I've got this, of course, I have to show this off. It's my 72 Topps card. He's got the backward jersey, just like a lot of other guys. And I've talked about that before. It was a licensing issue with the Players Association and with the league logos. So you don't see Nick's on the front, even though you see Nick's there. You see Lucas on the back. All right, let's get to our main event. This is the guy, everyone's wanting to hear about, I'm sure. The greatest two guard of all time. And there's been no shortage of Michael Jordan coverage lately. You probably know a lot about him already. I've noticed since The Last Dance that he's made himself available in a couple other spots too, which is nice. The most recent instance that I can think of is Jackie McMullen's new podcast on The Ringer called Icons Club, which I would recommend checking out. I think the last episode just came out. There's 8 episodes. It's very good. I'm not going to read all of MJ's stats. We know those stats. We know he was great. However, if I had to talk about a component of his game that I still think is a little bit overlooked to this day, it's his defense. Here are some things to consider. He was 9-time All-Defensive Player. He was the steals champ for 3 seasons. He's actually still 3rd all-time in steals. And he won the Defensive Player of the Year in 1988, the same year he captured a scoring title at 35 points per game. So it's not like he was taking possessions off to get either one of those titles. I could go on and on about Michael Jordan, but you're here for the cards. You know about Michael Jordan. So I want to start off with some cheaper cards that I kind of liked from my childhood. I thought this was an insert set like the whole time I was a kid, and I realize now it's a subset. But I thought these Skylights cards were so cool. And, of course, the Michael Jordan card being the coolest. He's in that dunk pose there. But you can see it's a subset here. It's part of that actual base set. But very cool card. That's why, I still got one top loaded because I just think it's so cool. I pulled one of these StarQuest Reds, which the only other level that's more rare than this would be the gold, which I don't own the Jordan. I used to own the penny. I got rid of it. But I pulled one of these as a kid and didn't think much of it. I just thought it was red because the Bulls were red. And I think I ended up, when I went to college, I sold it for like $40. Well, I got this one in a lot sometime after that, and it had some damage on it. And I thought that's perfect. It makes me, pretty much have to keep this card, and I've got some nostalgic feelings for it anyway. So that's just a great looking Jordan card. Here's another cheap one, just a 97 chrome card. It's got some greening on it. Those chrome cards just kind of get cruddy after a while. It's got some of that, but I don't know, just a Jordan chrome. I thought it was worth keeping. I really like this Jordan chrome. I know a lot of people are anti-Wizards Jordan stuff, but I like that one. And all right, moving into a little bit nicer stuff. This is a people have joked that this is a Ron Mercer card, but this is a Michael Jordan mirror image Bowman's Best refractor. It's got Jordan, it's got Mercer, it's got a couple players here on the back too, Marbury and Gary Payton. I bought this at a card shop in, I think, January of 2019 for $8 because the owner said, well, the etching's off. Because if you look there, the etching is off. So, he was being honest about it, but even at $8, I thought that was a steal. And I think at the time, not the version where the etching was correct still sold for about $50. So it wasn't a huge steal at the time, but I'll take it for $8. I'll definitely take it now. I'm happy to have it. I don't even know what it's worth now. This is a card I picked up in a $30 lot. This is an Encore, and I know there were a ton of Jordans in this set, so it kind of downplays it a little bit, but I actually keep this in my Pacers collection because this is from one of the Eastern Conference Finals games. You can see the Pacers there. And I tracked down the clip. You know what? I'll have to maybe show that on the channel at some point. I tracked down the clip, and Jordan missed the shot. So that's a great thing for me as a Pacers fan. A little bit of a redemption story there. And that is numbered 6 out of 125. I've got this relic card here. Which there's a cool story behind this one. I pulled this card out of a $10 clearance blaster. And I took a break from basketball cards around 2006 for about 3 years and went to baseball. So I wasn't really out of cards completely, but I was just kind of done with basketball. So I missed some cool stuff during that time frame. Well, as I was slowly starting to look back at things, I thought, hey, you know what? All these upper deck blasters are on clearance. Maybe I'll chase a Blake Griffin rookie. And so I bought one, and it had this Jordan. Irving dual relic in there, and I was hooked back on basketball ever since then. So this is one that will never leave my collection. It's kind of got some history, personal history behind it too. I do, however, have some multicolored patches, not in the traditional sense. It's more from a company called G Gum. I think I showed those off when I had the LeBron James stuff. But basically, they would take a base card and grade it and then put a piece of a patch in there as well. So I started off, this was my first one. I got it for $35. It's a piece of trim from either the arms or the neck. And I ended up getting this one in around that same range too. I guess people were scared off by the grade. I don't care about the grade. Look at that chunky piece of patch. So that's pretty cool. So those are my two Jordan patches. Not in the most conventional way, but Jordan patches are expensive. So I'll take what I can get in the economy range. All right, there you have it. That's pretty different range of stuff there. I hope you enjoyed that. Maybe you got some inspiration for your own collection, or maybe inspiration for a new video. I'd love to see that. Tag me if you post one as well. And as always, there are new episodes of the podcast that come out every Thursday. Thanks for watching.